Palworld is not Pokemon with guns. Hello everyone, Drunk Robot here, and I'm back with another video to talk about the worldwide phenomenon that is Palworld, which I shall reiterate is not Pokemon, or Pokemon with guns, or whatever iteration of this idea you want to die on. I will not talk about plagiarisms of the designs, because even the memes linking the different pals to Pokemon is stale, and frankly, if Nintendo hasn't shut it down, well, then at least legally speaking, it is not plagiarism. Even though, in all actually, it probably is. But anyways, I'm sure as shit they would have loved to stop this inertia building juggernauts. Pun intended. And of course, there's a myriad of memes mentioning Dragon Quest and Digimon. You have seen this. We don't need to climb this idiot mountain again. So with all of that out of the way, I'm going to dabble in something I love watching. It's not really reading, but watching. So why shouldn't I replicate? It's the greatest form of flattery and whatnot. Shout out to H Bomber Guy. Tried and true video essay. Time to learn if my writing is as bad as my improv. Probably worse. Same shitty style of jokes will be below. And with that, let's get into the video. Over the last couple of weeks, I have loved watching video essays on Palworld, and I've watched a ton. And while many of the same things are said, there's so much that is different, and that is because of the nature of this game. As you can tell, and as it's been stated many times across the internet already, Palworld is almost completely a game made of hundreds of different parts. A Franken game, if you will. And it's always whatever the author of the given essay has the most experience with that they equate it to the most. If you have watched my previous videos, and Lord, thank you for that, there's probably like only 3 of you here, you know I have a long history with ARPGs, and I also have experience with a ton of RPGs. But when it comes to games that are directly ripped, in this game, there are only a few that I have a personal adequate experience with, those being Minecraft, Valheim, and Pokemon. So, if I were to describe this game from personal experiences, I would say the game is a combination of those games, and you know what? I think most of you would agree with that. But I also keep up on general gaming news, and so who doesn't like the memes? So I've seen Ark, Fortnite, Breath of the Wild, countless other games and features stolen and incorporated into this game. And if someone took time to figure out all those direct influences, that would be an incredible video in itself. No way I would put that much effort into it. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see how well this video tracks. Leave a comment below if you'd like to see me do that. So a little bit more about myself. I don't like revealing too much personal information, as I feel my in real life self and my online self are two distinct, different people, as they should be. For the sake of the story, let's say I work somewhere where if there is no work for me to do, I'm still on call. I'm still in the building. I'm at work. But if I don't have much to do, I game. So I know it's a rough life. I'm sorry. Sadly, I get paid well also on top of that. So again, sorry for everyone else in the world. Anyways, tangent over. So I work at a place where I can game freely, and I have a revolving turnstile of random employees that come through my office area, let's say. And last week, I pretty much spent every waking minute on this game, and every single employee that I was playing with, they thought I was playing a completely different game. This depended on which portion of the game I was actually playing, right? So if I was actually catching pals at the time, they asked if I was playing Pokemon. If I was fighting big boss mons, I had a couple ask me about Monster Hunter. If I was doing base building, Minecraft, Valheim, something of those sorts. Or even one employee saw me gliding through the game and thought I was playing Fortnite.
Which is fucking hilarious. A little bit too old for that.
Anyways, every single person thought it was something different, and honestly, that is what makes this game truly amazing. And it's also indicative of the opinions of the other video essayers. English good. Anyways, it was their perspective and experiences in different games that influenced them to make their comparison, and I did that as well. So now maybe it is my lack of experience with Ark or Monster Hunter or whatever that lets me experience this game as it is and makes it feel like such a fresh idea to me, even though I know it's obviously not. And maybe this is something that is shared by the larger gaming community and explains the success. It is something that is familiar, but also at this literally the same exact time, it is something that is not. One could also look at the slice of Poke fans, and even greater, ex-Poke fans, or Poke casuals, we'll call them, right? Remember Pokemon Go? Felt like everyone I know at least downloaded the app and caught a couple of months.
I love watching all the old people, and they'd be there for like a raid. This is like a year into it. I played way too much Pokemon Go. Anyways, they'd mispronounce the Pokemon, and me back then, of course, you'd be upset because like I knew the correct pronunciations for most of these things not perfectly. I never said it verbally to anybody, but looking back, I'm just like, man, I was definitely younger at this time. I just appreciate that these kind of people would play that game. Anyways, sorry, tangent over.
So yeah, it felt like everyone now downloaded the app in a couple of months. Imagine all those casual fans hearing about a new open world game with Pokemon-like creatures where you can do just about anything, and it has guns. The game would pop from word alone, and it did.
And while there are plenty of flaws with this game,
the parts that work exceptionally well. The base building, power curve, loot loop, the base building, power curve, loot loop, all those things create an amazing game loop that is extremely rewarding. TMI, I have over 100 hours in this game already. I've caught pretty much every pal, and I have all the bosses down, all the towers down. You could say I completed the game, but those would be the most giant quotation marks for a game that is said to be an alpha. All right, ADHD moment, time sidetrack. For a game that's supposedly an alpha, this is extremely polished, exceptionally so. And now that could be because we have been diluted from what is bad unfinished releases over the past 10 years. That or the term alpha is doing some real heavy lifting, like bodybuilder type shit, to allow us to forgive some of the smaller issues with the AI and the lack of story. But even if this was a full release, again, giant quotations, I think most would be exceptionally happy playing this game as it is for the price it is. But I do think it wouldn't be as popular, and I'll get into that in a second. To finish my previous thought, I think the price of this game has played heavily into why this game is so successful. The reason I don't think it would be as popular is I think much of the success of this game is due to the possibilities as much as the reality. People see the bones of this game and know it can grow very well, especially those who have played other survival games like Valheim or Ark. All right, crap, we're pushing 10 minutes. Well, that's before all the edits, so
Probably like 8 minutes at this point. Oh, shit. Halfway through the script. Neat. Back to the plot.
this game is a Franken game, but it works. All the parts have their place, and all the parts more or less work. But how is it any different than any other game, right? Well, that's the other weird thing about Palworld. It isn't. Plenty of games are innovative. Plenty are not. And plenty are what we would call AAA games. And that we expect the highest quality from these AAA games. But for some reason lately, we just haven't been to fucking get that. You know, we just haven't got that. So time to rip into everyone's favorite punching bag. Let's look at Diablo 4, one of the largest AAA releases from last year. Probably had the most money put into it. I don't even know.
Fucking statistics and shit.
Currently, it is attempting to rip PoE leagues and is doing the absolute worst job at that. The game was designed around the idea, like, what if we took D2, D3, maybe some Lost Ark, throw in some PoE leagues, let's see what happens. And we do the leagues from PoE because Diablo seasons aren't nearly as good and never have been, even the latter, whatever.
Don't at me.
Even the plot of D4 is recycled. Stop the ambiguously bad, powerful thing, because bad is bad, but worse is still out there and it's stronger. So be careful. Be scared. Stick around.
Buy microtransactions. Fun. The sad thing is I still play that game. I probably won't play this season, but like I am hoping in the future for it to get better.
It's like a bad girlfriend just sticking around with. I don't know why. So anyways, what's the point of ripping into D4's battered corpse? Innovation is important, but good game design with a good game loop is more important, and that is something D4 is absolutely struggling with currently. So after beating Palworld, I thought, what should I do next? Should I attempt to finish the exceedingly stale D4 Season 3?
Newsflash, no.
Should I go back into Palworld and maybe play it different? Maybe a team of depressos or a weird sex-obsessed pal, I forget, Lavander, if I remember, with that Pal Dex entry of 69.
Nice.
No, sadly, instead I wrote this shitty video essay or whatever. No, what happened was a friend wanted help with their island. And I got right back into it. Like I hadn't missed a beat. And honestly, I was relieved. I wanted another excuse to play, and was pushing them through the game was reason enough. And I was excited to play again. This was incredible and something I hadn't felt in a while for a game that more or less finished. I didn't have a reason to play, but I just wanted to play it. It was fantastic. And it had a very definite end where like games like Diablo 4 don't. You just keep playing, right? You hit the max level, max thing, but you could just keep doing that for better stuff to do it faster, I guess. Yeah. So obviously, I respect and enjoy the game tremendously, right? Easy 9 out of 10. And that one-off is only because there are some bugs that need to be addressed. But if those bugs were not there and the AI, the pals and base was slightly more refined, easy clap, 10 out of 10, game of the year. Shit, game of the decade. But seriously, y'all, and all I want is, I don't know if this is just too much to fucking ask, but like, can I like just manually pick the jobs of the pals that I want them to do? Like, if I want somebody to fucking ore, can I pick like just the fucking, go mine just the ore, go sit over there? Like, I just want to make them static.
It bugs the fuck out of me. And God forbid, if that is actually in game right now, which I don't think it is, I would fucking, I would be losing my shit for how inefficient my farm was. Anyways.
With all that said, there's still a big, and I mean mammoth-sized issue with this game, and it's been pretty much the topic of this whole video, unbeknownst to you, or maybe even me, maybe. The fact that this game is just a pieced-together monstrosity means that other companies might, scratch that, will try to further replicate this strategy to make money. Because capitalism. While Palworld is successful, so many companies recently have not been as successful. And if anything, Palworld is hindering those forthcomings of larger studios. And I can already hear the comment section, well, this is an indie company. This is different. You don't understand. The fact that they're doing well shows that indie corporations can do well. And yeah, sure, I don't disagree that. There's always going to be that option for some guys to come in from the side and do something. But like, they put $6.7 million into this game. That's really, I know it's indie, it's still small, but like, that's not like a little amount. This isn't somebody's pet project, which kind of goes into my other topic here. And by the way, complete interjection, I totally forgot to write this part. The developers of Palworld pretty much stated that they want to make something derivative. So that was always their intentions. So keep that in mind. And so, yes, many ideas in the industry started off as a small operation, but this was an easy recipe for a game. And I mean easy, like, yes, it was executed really well. But the formula for this game was very formulaic.
I guess is the best way to put it.
And some stupid executive is going to try to take that and take the most successful parts from different games in maybe their studio and try to make the next big success. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fucking 100 different Palworld clones here coming soon. And you can also say, though, this has been the strategy of execs for countless years and has been the strategy in this industry for a while. So maybe Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard might look at the Diablo IP and it's like, hey, man, let's do fucking Palworld with Diablo. We'll just, you can just catch fucking demons and then use those demons in your party and, fuck it. We'll throw King in there and just do puzzles every now and then and have it be Candy Crush, right?
But anyways, distracted.
I'm not gonna lie though, Pokemon Palworld Diablo with like demons and shit that you captured and like you get stronger demons and build your team and like that'd actually be kind of fun. Maybe it could be terrible too. So I don't know. Shit, if we really want to get pedantic, we can look at latest, common popular games right now. Fortnite, it's just anime PUBG for kids, right? There's been a million Dota clones. Even Diablo spawned its own genre with more successful iterations, PoE and Last Epoch. Yeah. Destiny and Borderlands were spawned from Diablo, but they're just like, hey, let's take Diablo stuff and add guns and make it FPS. Cool. Many of the most successful games of all times have elements from other games like Red Dead Redemption, right? GTA. And, that's okay in the industry, but when it's so blatant like it is with Palworld, it worries me. So while I have the most respect for Palworld, my fear is different companies will see how the success was had and try even more reductive ways to try to replicate this formula, even more than they already have with some of the most recent releases.
Shit, Call of Duty ran out of original ideas 10 years ago. Modern Warfare.
Starfield, Skyrim in space. Shit, even the latest Pokemon are just Pokemon games recycled, but now with slightly more open world games. And Arceus is just a general rip off of survival games in general. But like the most basic and dumbed down version of that because, Game Freak can't make an actual adult game and thinks their whole fucking audience are literal children. Well, I guess it's children. Literal babies, even though. Okay, so I think I've made it clear that ripoffs are something that have a history and currently are a thing in gaming and why that is a problem, sort of. But I guess it kind of isn't a problem. And maybe I'm just scared that with everything in real life is becoming more and more centralized for mass acceptance. I hope my video games won't go that way as well. I mean, I already lost anime and comic books. As a nerd, it feels like what was my identity is being bastardized by the corporations and more.
God, I fucking hate using this term. Nothing else fits.
Normies are slowly eating up what I identified with when I was young. And in one aspect, I'm happy to share, but in the other, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm tired of you fucking with my things. Stop corporatizing nerdy things. You already killed fucking Marvel. It's dead. Bastardized shonen animes on Netflix. And now video games continue to become more the product of corporate elites. And us gamers are getting our homes polluted because the average ass John who games less than 4 hours a week because his inability to make enough money off of one job. But no one wants to talk about how that is an issue. But instead, we will make games super fucking easy for all audiences. We're dropping the bar into the Mariana Trench. Fuck you, John. But not personally, but the circumstances that made you. I wish you could game as much as I do, but the fact that you're struggling isn't fair. But I also don't think games should be dumbed down so much it gets
payments from the government monthly.
I'm losing track of the point, so I'm gonna end the video here. The ripoffs, they will continue, and the corporations will go nonstop to make nostalgia slushies out of our member berries. Because art is dead, and the dollar is king. And this has been Drunk Robot. I'm out. So thank you for everyone making this far. I completely see why so many video essay writers take so long, and if I kept on going, this video would keep growing. Even in the recording process, I found myself like having way fucking more to say. I'm like, God, I need to shut the fuck up and just finish this thing, right? But for your sake, I did eventually stop. So make sure you like and comment if you made it this far. Greatly appreciated. Because also without solid engagement, my fucking ADHD won't get enough dopamine hit to come back to this shit. So I just won't do this again. Even though I do enjoy it. That's the worst part about this. I don't do this for money or anything like this. I just do it because I generally enjoy. I like speaking, even if it feels like sometimes I'm just yelling into the void for what seems like no reason. Anyways, have a good one. Take it easy.